Hi, welcome to class. Go ahead and begin in a seated position. We'll begin in an easy seated pose, just settling in really quick. A couple of minutes here, not even, just a couple of breaths really. And settle in and set your intent for class. And when you're ready, bring your legs out in front of you. Bring you right inside of your foot to the inside of your left leg for half dragonfly. Sitting up nice and tall, spine nice and long. Reaching your crown towards the ceiling. Slowly walk the hands out, keeping your spine straight. And when you hit resistance or are unable to keep your spine straight, you can go ahead and let your head hang heavy and let your spine round. You may want to grab a block to go underneath this knee. That's okay. You can also grab another block for your forehead if you'd like to do that. Take whatever option sounds good to you. Really settling in. Notice how it feels to breathe through your back body here. The back side of your rib cage. No pulling here, just letting your body be where it is. These forward folds that we do are really good to slow down our nervous system, to wind down for the day, to let go. Last breath here. Slowly walk your hands up, bringing your head up last. Feeling the pose, leave your body, bring your legs out in front of you, both of them, maybe wiggle them a little bit. Now bringing the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. Again, spine nice and long. You may want to place a block underneath here again if you need to. You may not need to on this side. Spine nice and long, shoulders back, crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Begin to hinge forward at your hips. And when you meet resistance and are no longer able to keep your back straight, either from tightness in your leg, maybe some anatomy restrictions, You can go ahead and let your head hang heavy and your spine round. Again, no pulling here, weight in the hands, really just resting. Maybe notice how the pose feels different on this side than it did on the other. Nice, even breaths here. You may want to begin to shape your breath. Inhale and exhale, becoming even and smooth. No pause between the inhale and the exhale, the top of the bottom. Just nice, fluid breath. Noticing if your body can sink a little deeper with each exhale. You can let go just a little more. Last breath and slowly walking the hands back up, bringing the head up last. Remove that block. Set it aside there. Place your hands behind you for support and windshield wiper your legs back and forth very slowly here. And prepare for shoelace. So bringing your left ankle or your right ankle back by your left glute, crossing your left leg over here, and sitting up nice and tall again. You can take two options here. You can bring your arms up for eagle arms, wrapping the left arm underneath the right here and holding the arms up. Or you can take the option to lean forward, let your head hang heavy here. If you are taking the eagle arms pose here, this option, you can always lean forward later if that becomes to be too much for you. As we're in this pose, I'd like you to think about one trait, bring it to mind, a personality trait, a habit, or something that you have that you wouldn't normally think of when you think of self love. Bring that trait to mind and embrace it with love, with your heart center. Be compassionate and accepting of yourself. Bring some loving kindness to that trait and to yourself and see if you can carry that with you throughout today's practice. Yin Yoga is a practice of surrender, a practice of acceptance, practice of letting go and accepting ourselves, still knowing that there's always room for improvement, always something to adjust, but in this moment, right here, right now, we're practicing acceptance and acknowledgement of where we are. Be gentle with yourself. Three more breaths here. Slowly walk your hands up, bringing your head up last. Unwind your legs, bring them out in front of you, shake them out a little bit. Bring your left ankle near your right glute this time. Sit bones in contact with the floor. Bring your right leg crossing over. Nice and tall here. Nice long spine, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Sitting up nice and tall, either taking the eagle arms, right arm underneath the left this time, wrapping around palms of your hands together. Gaze comes towards your thumb, keeping your elbows up, or taking the option to keep your spine straight, lean forward, and let your head hang heavy. Take the option that's best for you whenever you like. Again, noticing how this pose may feel different on this side. I definitely notice on this side that my hips are much tighter and that there's definitely more sensation in my hips in this pose on this side. No judgment, just noticing. Each exhale, see if you can let go a little bit more. Doesn't mean to force yourself, just see if you can let go a little. No pressure in the hands here. 3 more breaths here. Slowly walking the hands up, bringing the head up last. Unwind your legs, bringing your feet out in front of you, shaking them out a little bit. And come to a position laying on your stomach and find Sphinx pose. Legs out behind you, belly to the mat, hips press into the mat, pressing through your forearms, elbows stacked below your shoulders here. Gaze comes to the point between your hands on the mat. No tension here. Most of the weight here, again, is in your elbows, your forearms, pressing into the mat here. Check in with that breathing. If you shaped your breath at the beginning of class, if that's something that you wanted to carry with you throughout the practice, check in and see how that's going. Have you lost your breath? Nice, smooth, easy breathing here. Notice how it feels to breathe with your belly compressed against the floor. Bring your shoulder blades together, opening up through the front of the chest, opening up through the collarbones. So you can feel your breath as if you were breathing through your collarbone. If you'd like to take the option to move up into seal at this point, you can. If you have any wrist issues and want to opt out of this variation, you can remain in Sphinx pose. 3 breaths here. Slowly lower down if you took the seal variation. Bringing your left ear to the mat. You may want to grab a blanket or a towel, move it to the side of your mat. Bring your right leg up, knee to rest on your blanket or towel here for half frog. You can bring your arms across here, folded to rest your forehead if you'd like. You can leave your left ear to the mat, whatever's most comfortable for you. Leg at a 90-degree angle here, bend in the knee. Half frog is a little more accessible than doing both sides at the same time. But if you would like to take a full frog here, you can for the entirety of this pose. We will be switching to half frog in a couple of minutes on the other side. Nice deep hip stretch here. Really feeling our bodies supported by the earth. Letting go a little more with each breath. Three more breaths here. Release the blanket or towel. Bring your leg back around to neutral. Moving that to the opposite side. Bringing now your left knee out to the side. 90-degree angle for half frog on the other side. Again, resting your head on your arms or bringing your arms out to the side now, right ear to the mat. Check in with your breathing. Check in with your intent from the beginning of class. If you opted to think of something, some trait about yourself, either physical, emotional, spiritual trait that you have that you wouldn't normally think to attribute to self-love, that you wouldn't normally think of when thinking about how you love yourself. Maybe it's something that you judge yourself for. See if you can bring some love, soften your heart center, bring some loving awareness to that. Few more breaths here. Bring the left leg back. Placing your left forearm on the mat, roll over. Stacking your hips, stacking your ankles, elbow and forearm press into the mat for half Buddha. Your right arm can be resting on your leg here. You can also place your blanket or towel underneath your hip for a little extra cushioning here. Notice how it feels to have the right side body compressed here as we're opening our left side body up to the floor. Notice how it feels to breathe in this pose. Feel free to close your eyes if you would like. Making sure to maintain the structure of the pose, not slumping down, but really pressing away from the floor. Not necessarily through your hands or your wrists, but through your elbow, your forearm. And that may be where you'd like the cushion as well. You could always move the blanket underneath your arm if you needed some extra support there. For me, it's the hips. Do whatever feels right for your body. Last breath here. Slowly lower down, sliding that left arm out, resting your head here. Just pause for a moment. And you can roll over onto the other side if you would like. I'm going to switch sides so that I'm not facing away from you. By bringing the right elbow now underneath the right shoulder, stacking your hips here, stacking your feet, pressing away from the floor, left shoulder back, maintaining the integrity of the pose and the spinal alignment here. Keeping your gaze forward. You may want to find a drishti point, a point of focus on the wall in front of you. If you'd like to close your eyes here, again, you can. Feeling now the difference here where we had our side body compressed on the right side. Now it's open to the floor, open to the earth beneath us. Compressing our left side now. Notice any differences here. Again, not judging, just noticing. I have more breaths here. Letting that right arm slide out, resting your head on your bicep. Just noticing. And roll over, laying flat on your back. I'm going to swap around here. My blanket to the side. You may want to grab a block as well. Make sure that you have your blocks close by. Feet hip distance apart here. Windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Gently coming back to neutral. Pressing through the feet. Lift the hips up. Shift the hips to the right. Let your knees fall to the left. Arms out to a T. Gaze comes over your right arm. Your knees may not be all the way up here. They may be farther down. Maybe you want to play around with having them farther down or farther up. Just find the position that is best for your body today. You can rest your left hand on your right knee or out to the T, whichever is more comfortable. Nice twist here. These spinal twists can be really beneficial for digestion and organ tissue health. It helps to wring out some of the toxins from our body and squeeze them out. Well, it's really nice, especially after sitting all day at maybe a desk or driving, whatever it is that you've been doing. It may just feel like a nice release here. Of course, if you feel any pain or anything, if you feel sensation, that's okay. Explore it. Push back off a little bit, maybe 10% or so. Let's see how you feel there. And slowly unwind, bringing your feet back to center, shifting the hips back to center, and then bringing the knees into your chest. And then just a little rock side to side, making a nice little massage on your sacrum. And feet back to hips apart. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth, really isolating the movement here in your femur and just feeling that release. See if you can keep your hips to the floor. Coming back neutral now, shifting the hips over to the left, letting the knees fall to the right. Arms out to a T. Right hand can come to the outside of your left leg here, or out to a T as well. Gaze comes over the left fingertips. And feel free to close your eyes here. Keep them open. Really relaxing into this pose. Letting go. Nice even breathing. few more breaths here. Slowly unwind, bringing your hips back to center, reaffirming your shoulder blades to the floor, feet hips apart here, chin tucked slightly towards your chest. Grab one of your blocks, pressing through the feet, lift the hips up and place your block on the lowest setting underneath your sacrum. This is not on your small of your back or your lower back, right below it where your sacrum is located. Supported bridge. We'll begin here in this lower setting, and then there will be an option to increase the intensity of this pose in just a few minutes here. You can rest your hands on your rib cage at your side, whichever. Check back in with that breath work. If you've kept the same shape of your breath throughout the practice, maybe try altering it a little. So if you have been shaping your breath in a way that is an even inhale and exhale, maybe for a count of 4, maybe try holding some retention at the top and the bottom. Maybe lengthen your exhale. So for me, that would be an inhale of 4, holding at the top for a beat, exhale for 6, and repeating. Inhale 4, pause, exhale 6. Maybe you want to pause at the bottom as well. Inhale 4, pause 2, exhale 4, pause 2. You would like to move your block to a higher setting, press through your feet. Please be aware that it is a little less stable because there is less of the block supporting you. But you can move it to a higher setting here just for a moment. Press through the feet, remove the block, and bring the soles of your feet together, placing the blocks underneath your legs for Supta Baddha Konasana, supported butterfly pose. If you don't have blocks, of course, pillows, a blanket, whatever you need. Some people only have one block. You can use anything else that you need as well to support your legs, or you don't need to use blocks. You can let your knees fall towards the floor as well. Chin tucked slightly into the chest, hands resting on your rib cage on the inside of your legs or either sides. If you choose the option to have your hands at your sides, you may think about placing your hands, palms facing up to receive a little energy if you're looking for that this evening. If you're feeling like you're still a little wound up, you need to ground, you can place your palms down towards the earth. Go ahead and remove the blocks. Take any final poses you would like to take before your Shavasana. Maybe you want to take Happy Baby, whatever it is that your body needs. Feel free to do so now before settling in for Shavasana. As you settle in for Shavasana, let your arms be free at your sides. Let your feet fall open. Take up more space on your mat, outside of your mat. Let your breathing return to normal. Begin to let go. Let go of today's practice. Let go of any judgments about how you thought it should or shouldn't be, how you thought your body should move. And begin to accept and surrender to the idea that your body is different every day. Begin to practice that loving awareness towards yourself. Be compassionate and caring towards your body. It is the vessel that holds your soul, but it does not define you. Its movements do not define you. Begin to deepen your breathing, bringing awareness back into your body, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes a little. Slowly open your eyes. And in whatever way is intuitive to you, slowly making your way to a seated position. From the seated position, circle, sweep your arms up above you on an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Sitting nice and tall. Crown reaching towards the sky. Another big, deep inhale. And sigh it out on an exhale. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. Thank you for taking the time to set aside for today's practice, to put aside this hour for self-care, for self-love, and to find kindness in our hearts for those things that are sometimes difficult for us to love about ourselves. I hope that you can carry the benefits of this practice throughout your evening. I'd like you to repeat after me, focusing on that soft center in your heart, and seed these following words. I am love. I am light. I am connected to all that there is. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Namaste.